In a significant escalation of military activity, the Russian Defense Ministry reported that an Su-34 strike aircraft successfully targeted a Ukrainian Armed Forces AFU manpower cluster and armored hardware in the border region near Kursk. This strike comes as Russian forces continue their extensive military operations, aimed at inflicting severe damage on Ukraine's military infrastructure and personnel across multiple fronts. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, units from Russia's Sever North group of forces engaged Ukrainian formations in the Lipsy and Volchansk areas, located in the Kharkiv region, delivering substantial losses to Ukrainian troops. These engagements saw Russian forces target the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade, the 36th Marine Brigade, and the 113th Territorial Defense Brigade of Ukraine. Russian military units reportedly repelled a counterattack launched by an assault detachment from Ukraine's Kraken nationalist formation. Russian officials claim that this resulted in the deaths of up to 65 Ukrainian soldiers, along with the destruction of 3 motor vehicles and a 122 Me-D30 howitzer. Despite Ukrainian attempts to regain ground, Russian forces maintained a defensive posture, ensuring that Ukraine's efforts to counterattack in these areas were unsuccessful. Russian forces also reported success in the Kupyansk area, where the Zapad West group of forces improved their tactical positioning, while simultaneously dealing significant damage to Ukrainian personnel and military equipment. The Russian Ministry of Defense announced that they had inflicted losses on Ukrainian troops from the 43rd, 44th, and 66th Mechanized Brigades, the 3rd Assault Brigade, and the 114th Territorial Defense Brigade. 4 counterattacks by the Ukrainian Armed Forces, including efforts by the 14th and 63rd Mechanized Brigades and the 1st National Guard Brigade, were reportedly repelled. Russian forces claim that in these engagements, Ukraine suffered the loss of up to 420 troops, 1 Cossack armored fighting vehicle, 3 pickup trucks, a US-made 155 Armata M198 howitzer, and a variety of artillery systems, including a 152 mm Akatsiya self-propelled gun, a 152 mm D20 gun, a 122 mm Gvozdika self-propelled gun, and a UK-made 105 mm Diatom L119 howitzer. Additionally, 4 Ukrainian ammunition depots were reported destroyed, further degrading Ukraine's military capabilities in the region. In the southern part of the Donetsk region, the Yug South group of forces claimed to have seized more advantageous positions while inflicting heavy losses on Ukrainian forces near Kramatorsk, Seversk, and other key locations. Russian officials stated that they targeted a broad range of Ukrainian formations, including the 24th, 28th, 30th, and 93rd Mechanized Brigades, the 56th Motorized Infantry Brigade, the 25th Airborne Brigade, and the Light Assault Brigade of Ukraine's National Police. The Russian military claims that up to 810 Ukrainian soldiers were killed in these engagements. Ukrainian military hardware losses reportedly included an armored personnel carrier, an armored fighting vehicle, and 15 motor vehicles. Russian strikes also targeted a range of Ukrainian artillery systems, including a Polish-made 155 Miracrab self-propelled gun, a US-made 155 M777 howitzer, two UK-made 155 FH-70 howitzers, two 122 Gvozdika self-propelled guns, and other artillery platforms. Ukrainian electronic warfare capabilities were also impacted, with the destruction of one electronic warfare station and 4 Ukrainian ammunition depots. In the central Donetsk region, units of the Center group of forces reportedly continued to advance deeper into Ukrainian defensive positions. These units were said to have inflicted severe losses on multiple Ukrainian brigades, including the 67th and 100th Mechanized Brigades, the 95th Air Assault Brigade, the 55th Artillery Brigade, and various territorial defense formations. Russian forces encountered resistance in the form of 10 Ukrainian counterattacks launched by the 53rd, 150th, and 151st Mechanized Brigades, the 68th Jaeger Brigade, and National Guard units. Despite Ukraine's attempts to slow the Russian advance, Russian officials claimed to have repelled these counterattacks, resulting in Ukrainian losses of up to 555 troops. An M113 US-made armored personnel carrier, a Turkish-made Kirpi armored vehicle, 5 pickup trucks, a 152 mm Mr. B howitzer, a 152 mm D20 gun, and 3 122 mm D30 howitzers. In the Zaporozhye and Kherson regions, Russian forces continued their artillery campaign, inflicting losses on Ukrainian troops stationed near key locations such as Malaya Tokmachka, Nesteryanka, and Tokaryovka. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that Ukrainian losses in these areas amounted to 50 troops, several motor vehicles, and a range of artillery systems, including a 152 mm Akatsia self-propelled gun and a 152 mm Mr. B howitzer. Ukrainian electronic warfare systems were also targeted, with the destruction of an Anclav N electronic warfare station. In Zaporozhye, Russian forces claimed to have destroyed an important Ukrainian defense industry facility responsible for producing gas turbine engines for AFU combat aircraft. This strike, along with others targeting UAV production workshops and military infrastructure, further escalates the destruction of Ukraine's military capabilities. Russian forces also targeted Ukrainian manpower and equipment in 149 different areas, using missile troops, artillery, and tactical aviation to inflict significant losses. Russia's air defense systems reportedly intercepted 2 US-made HARM anti-radiation missiles, 3 HIMARS multiple launch rocket system MLRS projectiles, and 63 Ukrainian drones. Since the onset of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Russian Defense Ministry claims to have neutralized a staggering array of Ukrainian and NATO-supplied military assets, including 646 aircraft, 283 helicopters, and over 32,000 unmanned aerial vehicles. Russian operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops and artillery continued their relentless bombardment of Ukrainian positions and military infrastructure. Russia's missile and artillery strikes targeted key locations, including Ukrainian defense industry enterprises, airfields, and UAV production facilities. This latest round of Russian military actions underscores the Kremlin's determination to degrade Ukraine's military potential across multiple fronts. As the conflict drags into its 19th month, both sides remain locked in a brutal struggle, with heavy casualties reported on a daily basis. Despite Ukrainian attempts to counter Russian advances, Moscow's forces maintain their operational tempo, continuing to press forward with their special military operation, which shows no signs of abating.